I'm trying to wonder if the woman that he's actually sleeping with made this happen. I don't know why.
Oh no, 100%.
She was jealous.
Yeah, no.
The girl that had the arm around, she is a new employee who reports to the man.
Yeah.
Okay.
Oh boy, here we go.
I mean,
reports when just that right there. Reports to the man. Okay.
Environment.
No, go ahead, Lauren.
That absolutely could be considered under the hostile work environment, which is protected.
100%.
In the U.S.
I'm not debating. Here it is too. It's 100% sexual harassment. I'm not debating that at all.
You think it is?
Oh yeah, 100%.
Wait.
Whether it was intentional or not. So Cindy, something you just said, like touchy-feely culture, like I'm a hugger.
Right.
I was just thinking in my head at the same time, like that's the same thing about like, I have this privilege, whether I acknowledge it or not. I've never been held back because I was white. You know what I mean? Like I've never been held back because of the color of my skin. So I have to cognizantly think about that stuff. Like that's not appropriate in a workplace. It's okay when I'm not in a workplace or if I'm not in a professional environment or.
Right. I mean, I would have to retrain my.
Yeah. And I mean, you'd have to do it.
Right. But as of within just the last few years, because you know what I mean? It's different. Now, I also, I've had this talk with Lauren separately. So that's why, I know exactly where Lauren's going and Lauren knows my opinions. But I also had said I have never been sexually harassed. I've never even gotten a dick pic. Like nothing like that good ever happens to me. You know what I mean? It just doesn't. So I'm thinking in my mind, is it because I've never been in those shoes, so I don't understand.
But I don't know that you have never been sexually harassed, Cindy. I think maybe you might not.
I wouldn't notice, and I would be glad. Okay.
Dying. It doesn't have to be like.
I think you have, and you have not noticed. There's no way you haven't.
Like, it doesn't have to be blunt, blatant, and that's sort of where my background issue with this is, and maybe it's different because I worked on the ship for such a long time. Like I've worked primarily always with men and stuff, and so much.
And
stuff.
other cultures you've worked with too, which they have.
That's true,
right?
There's so much, like the Caribbean guys, like they do this weird whistly cat call. Is their way of saying hello. Like it sounds like construction workers whistling at you, but like literally that's just the way they say hello. So anywhere else that happened, you'd be like, what the fuck? Like he's like catcalling me or whatever. But like that's just the way, that's what they do. Like that's the way they don't do it to guys, but that's the way they do it.
Lauren's like, Lauren's like, whistle at me, bitch.
Right? Whether they're trying to get your pants or not, but I just think there's lines of like he grabbed my ass or he brushed my arm. You know what I mean? Like,
yeah. Or like he put his hand on my shoulder while we were on a stage at the Republican or Democratic National Convention. That's different than
because you're posing for a photo. I mean, why is that
put
different?
His hand in my crotch. Like,
well,
arm around.
I'm wondering if girls coming up are just going so far the other way that they're gonna make life so much harder for themselves. And I'm not by any means saying that they should accept this or take this when it's a serious issue, but I think there's some little things that if you're gonna blow up over every little thing, people are gonna like, you know what I mean? Back off.
Thank you. Like, and I had said that.
When it's shitty, it's so shitty. But when it comes time for the promotion or to come out with a certain group of friends, or you know what I just mean, there's so many situations. Those girls are going to be like, she's an issue.
She's difficult to work with. Yeah, she's
not even just work. She's difficult to be around. I don't want to.
Yeah, I see.
My family's a bunch of farmers. Like, I can't hang out with you and you'll be freaking like lecturing them on this, that, and the other. Like, I don't know.
You know. I remember I used to work.
But maybe I'm way off base.
I used to volunteer for this agency. It was all like parents and people who volunteer, and they were all friendly, schmenly with each other, and they would see each other and hug each other. And I don't know why, but they would kiss each other on the lips. And I'm like, oh, This is before COVID. I know.
Like they were
On the cheek. What's that? They would see each other and they would hug each other and then they'd kiss each other on the lips. And I'm just like,
this is
strange.
family members?
No, this is like
people she worked with.
It was just like a volunteer thing. It was I can't say who it was.
Oh, no. Okay. No, I get it now. Right. Okay.
And I was just like, God, I hope they don't kiss me on the lips. And then I kind of thought, like, why don't they kiss me on the lips?
That's Cindy's. Why am I not getting a dick pic?
Exactly.
If you were listening, somebody sent Cindy a dick pic.
I just did.
Did she? Oh, okay. Well, I know someone who's a man who's, in a pretty high up position. And, he has people working under him.
You know Andrew Cuomo?
Yeah. Well, listen, don't even get me started on him because something happened the other day that even me and we both were like, now they're getting dramatic. But Andy's gotten into a lot of trouble, so I can't even defend that shit anymore. So they were saying that they are afraid to hire these young girls now, or females in general.
So that's typecasting, though. It's not fair. They cannot risk being falsely accused of something. And you know what I mean? They can't risk that. Also, when you have to have a meeting with someone in your office, a female, like you have to leave the door open, or I would have a camera running.
Or you have another female in, like Dr. Laura Dyson there does. Mm-hmm. Like she can have two boys in her examination room. She has to have the boy doctor there, nurse with her.
Yeah.
To make sure she's not now.
It's to protect myself,
Mm-hmm.
No malpractice here.
Malpractice. I wouldn't mind practicing males. I mean, a malpractice.
Mel's on her jokes tonight.
Yeah, she's.
What's behind the curtain, Lauren? What's really behind the curtain?
Yeah, what's behind that curtain?
That's where her nurse is tied up.
But so totally putting his arm around her was really a bad thing.
Technically, yes, that's sexual harassment. You should never touch an employee.
Right.
But then
he loses job.
Hold on. Let's back up the line here. Cindy is a lesbian female boss. Now, is it a different story if she puts her arm around a female employee?
I've got
now,
something
what if she
here.
puts her arm around a male employee?
No, it's the same. It should be held to the same standard.
It
doesn't matter what you identify with. It doesn't matter the gender. Like,
right.
It should be, but will it ever be? Like, Cindy's shit, I'm in so much trouble.
No, I'm just thinking like what we used to do to one of the girls at work.
Oh yeah, right? I've heard this story.
She always wore these like really low cut shirts and she had these really big titties. So we would constantly drop things so that she had to bend over to pick them up. And then we would look down her shirt and all laugh. And it took her forever to figure it out, but she was so flattered and she cracked up. She's also was part of our quarantine crew and a good friend. So a lot of it was, I work at a pizza shop. That's equivalent to being on a construction site. Okay. Anything goes.
Well, you know what? I remember
if you gotta call HR, you're coming to me. Either way, you're fucked. I am HR. I'm everything. So what are they going to come to me? But no. So we would be in so much trouble for the harassment we do at that pizza shop.
Boss once, and it was two brothers, and the one brother, I got in a bit of a fight with, and I happened to be talking to his other brother on the phone, and I was like, I have an issue. I need to talk to HR. He's like, oh my God, what's wrong? Like, he's like, I'm HR. I'm like, you're not impartial. I can't talk to you about this. He's like, buddy, what is it? What's going on? What's wrong? I was like, your brother called me a bitch. He's like, what did you do?
Oh, no.
I 100% deserve to be called a bitch in the moment. I will 100% own that one.
Oh boy.
But yeah, that's how it was handled.
When I was in high school, it's not Geneva High School, but I went to when I was in high school, I was like a freshman in high school, and we were changing in the locker room, and a female gym teacher who I know was a lesbian walked by me and slapped my butt. Okay, wait
You
a
may want
minute.
to erase this. You may want to erase this.
No.
I had clothes on. But
Right?
this was like in 86.
Cancelled.
No,
Did you go to the school board about it?
no, I didn't, because I was like,
Had it been a
ooh.
male teacher though?
Oh, I
But
don't
did
know.
you feel
Of course.
uncomfortable? And maybe did other people that saw it feel uncomfortable, like it might happen to them?
Yeah, you know what? That's the thing. And I think about it now. I'm like, holy crap.
Right? That's
maybe I
so
just kind of blocked.
inappropriate.
Yeah. Like, but I guess possibly some sporting teams, right? But I was sitting there changing. I wasn't like, woo-hoo, I just scored a touchdown or whatever. Basketball, a layup or something. I was changing, and she just went by, some sports teams.
Oh, like the sports teams all smack butts.
Yeah.
Still not-
All right.
Lauren's like, not okay.
That would have to be agreed on by every party involved. They would have to say this is okay and this isn't for it to be okay.
They have to sign over for a butt slap. I approve that butt slap.
You know what? Now that you said it was during a game and she was the coach or whatever, and she gave
Wasn't the game though, Cindy. She was in the locker room getting changed.
I was getting changed from PE class, and I was like, oh my God.
Ooh,
and I think I just froze like this, my whole body. Like, she just hit me in the butt.
Okay.
To go back to the girl, it's not, and it's really not even feminism so much as I think I know you said like she's being dramatic. I think the better call would have been to say something in the moment. I don't know if she's young, she didn't feel confident in doing that. And I know too, through some of the HR trainings, you're encouraged to go to tell that person directly if you can, because that's the first step. Is
yeah.
Hey, I would prefer that you don't put your arm around me. It makes it look like I'm your favorite, and other people might get jealous. Whatever.
Oh,
it gives other
that's
men
true.
a different look. So, I mean, I think that would have been the right thing to do. He apologized. He explained what happened, and it's done. Like,
I just feel like
I agree with that. I don't know that was the right way to go about it. Is it because she's young and this is the first time it's happened? I don't know.
I totally 100% get that he was in the wrong. Like, he should have never done it. I just think, and not even this specific situation, like just in general, this sort of thing, I just look like a lot of this sort of stuff that young women do. And I'm like, I get where you're coming from, and I get you're doing the right thing, but you're not making your path easier. Like,
well, all right, I understand you saying that, but at the same time, it's something that women aren't going to accept anymore, and it's going to take a while before it completely stops, and it doesn't matter. You can still make your path. I think you're in a transition where men who really don't mean to sexually, you know what I mean? They're just, like you say, put their arm around you. They're scared that that's something that they do simple or what, you know what I mean? It's going to get blown out of proportion. And they have to train their minds
down the
to
road.
not do that.
It's wrong, but he's 100% going to go for the male employee over the older female employee down the road. Like, you know what I mean? Like,
oh, absolutely.
Every girl that comes behind her is going to have that much of a harder time trying to get a job, because people are just going to be like, so now there's like 4 guys in that department that have had to deal with this. They're going to go, is this worth the effort? Like, is it?
I agree. And that's exactly what I was saying. I was like, if I was one of those guys, I would be like, I'm going to avoid this whole thing, and I'm not hiring any more women. And
right.
it's
wrong.
wrong.
If you're going to get sued for protected classes, that's more dangerous, because that's federal.
Just think of somebody's podcast. It might have even, I don't know. I can't think who it was now.
Here's a thought. Do you think that I had a great ass in 9th grade? That maybe my ass was so great she had to come over and slap it? Maybe
100%. That was.
I
that's the real question.
Still thinking about that moment now.
Sorry.
What's going on, Mel?
Why am I in the mood?
Are you dating now, Mel?
No, I'm not. That's why I'm thinking about my 9th grade ass.
You know, she's just sitting there thinking, screw sexual harassment. My ass was Probably
He's
great.
sexually harassed.
The thing is, we had those. Anybody ever wear Guess jeans? I never can get any of those because they were very expensive back then.
Oh,
Wow.
I had those in the Jordache.